Hey, members, at this time, I'd like to welcome everyone to the meeting of OHA's Board of Trustees. It is Thursday, September 12th, 2024. It is 10 a.m. and I am officially calling this meeting to order. I'd like to state that present at this moment is our Trustee Akaka, Trustee Ahuna, Trustee Souza, Trustee Alapa, also Trustee Trask, Trustee Aquina, Chair Hulu Lindsay, and myself giving us the quorum to conduct the meeting. I would also like to note for the record that an item identified under Roman numeral 3A29 was received under the 72-hour deadline due to the quick turnaround from our RM committee. So that policy is duly waived to accommodate it. Supporting us here, Lehua and Amber. Also joining us as always, we have our CEO Kapohana, Stacy Ferreira. And I'd like to ask Stacy to introduce any administrative staff joining us today.
Aloha kakahiaka kako, mahalo trustees. Today we have supporting from administration, Chief Operating Officer Kehau Pu'u, Endowment Director Ryan Lee, Interim Corporation Counsel Everett Ota, Interim Senior Legal Counsel Nichi Ozawa, Senior Director of Hawaiian Cultural Affairs Hailama Farden, Director of Education and Culture-Based Learning Anuhea Awo Chan, Grants Manager Keala Newman, Interim Information Technology Manager Kevin Chalk, IT Systems Engineer and Administrator Kelsey Wade. Mahalo.
Thank you, Stacy. At this time, I'd like to move on to approve the committee minutes of January 25th and February 1st. Has anyone signed up for this? Someone has for the minutes? Oh, okay.
We had one person sign up, Luann Langford Favorito.
Hey, Luan?
Aloha.
Hello, Luan. We can hear you clearly.
Hi. I was just here to provide testimony and support of the 3 items you had as far as providing support and sponsorship for the RM 24, 37, 38, and 39. We thank you so much for that consideration. Mahalo.
Thank you, Luan. Has anybody else signed up?
No one else has signed up.
So it's been moved by Trustee Ahuna. Is there a second?
Yes.
Seconded by Trustee Alapa. Any changes to the minutes, members? If there are not any changes, then can I get a roll call vote for its approval, for their approval?
Trustee Ahuna?
Aye.
Trustee Akaka?
Aye.
Trustee Aquina?
Aye.
Trustee Alapa?
Aye.
Trustee Galuteri is excused. Trustee Souza?
Aye.
You're
Trustee Trask?
Aye.
Trustee Waihe'e?
Yes.
And Trustee Hulu Lindsay?
Yes.
We have 8 yes votes.
Okay, the minutes are approved. We'll move on to item 3A1, RM action item 2426. Do we have anyone signed up to speak on this item?
No one is, yes. We have one person, Makalani Kupau.
Okay, Makalani. Hey, Makalani, are you there?
I am here. Mahalo for having me. Aloha, Chair Lindsay and trustees. My name is Makalani Kupau. I'm a beneficiary, an OHA grant recipient through my Native Hawaiian serving nonprofit, a mother of 2 children with intellectual developmental disabilities, and the co-chair of the State Council on Developmental Disabilities. I'm here today because I went to the RM meeting yesterday based on an email I received from the grants department. It suggested that our grant might be considered for award. I sent an email to the grants office yesterday evening, along with all of the trustees. I don't know if any of you have had a moment to read it, so I'm just going to read it for you before I go on. It references the attached email that I received. So when I received the attached email and attended today's RM meeting with the understanding that a decision would be made on awards, When I did not see or hear our project being considered, I checked the meeting folder to find our application listed as incomplete or ineligible and not sent to evaluation. In the grant portal, it's still categorized as undecided. Firstly, I'm requesting documentation as to the justification for our application not being evaluated. When the grant portal accepts a submission, it doesn't accept it unless it's complete. Understanding that it needs to still be reviewed, but that review should go to the evaluators. Secondly, any unsuccessful applicants should have been notified via the grant portal update and or email at the time that decision was made, not months down the line. Sending out an email like the one I attached below from the grants department suggests that our application might be considered at this meeting. This email should have gone out to the applicants who were evaluated, or maybe just the ones who were being recommended for the awards. On another note, this is in my email, but it's for later, but it's regarding the Kaku'o grants. I'll go to that later. While I understand that OHA may be experiencing staffing challenges, it's difficult to comprehend the release of new grants and awards when pre-existing awards are not being attended to, like the Kaku'o grants from fiscal year 2024. I want to go back to this one, Olake Kanaka. So this we applied to. The grant portal accepted our application. We didn't receive any notifications about what was going on until the May meeting was supposed to happen. All that got postponed, as you're all aware of. I got an email saying that decisions were going to be made starting yesterday with RM. So I attended that meeting. I took the time out of the day to attend that meeting, only to discover that our application was never under consideration and that we were never notified that it wasn't. And so it appears that there's a pre-evaluation process for applications before it actually goes to the third-party evaluators. And the concern here as a beneficiary and as a grantee and as an applicant to other OHA grants is that it raises concerns for impropriety in circumventing the process and the reasoning for having a third-party evaluator. If the grant portal is accepting the application should go to that third-party evaluator, and they can make the determination of whether or not it's complete or ineligible because they have all of OHA's criteria. So I, as a beneficiary, wanted to bring that up because of the 36 applicants to this one grant category, 16 were deemed ineligible or incomplete. And I'm assuming that they were not informed either. But I want to know, and I want to see the documentation for why our application was deemed ineligible or incomplete. And that is my request of the trustees, if you would support me on that. Mahalo for your time and consideration. Aloha.
Thank you, Makalani. Trustee Trask.
Yes, could I please see the face of the testifier? I'm on a Zoom from the Hilo office.
Aloha, Trustee Trask. They're allowing me to join as a panelist now.
Okay, could I speak with the woman who just spoke? What is her name?
Makalani.
Are you there, Makalani?
I am Trustee Trask. I'm just hi, aloha.
Aloha, thank you. Now I can see you. I am the trustee from the Big Island. My number, do you have a pencil or pen?
I do.
You take my number down. It is 808-990-0529. I am requesting from you now on the record a copy of the complaint you sent, but I am requesting that you look at it before you send it to me and you make sure that every detail of your concern is listed. I want you to know that at this very time, I am filing a similar complaint as a trustee because the majority of grants that come in, we never see it. And you obviously don't seem to know what the criteria in this office is. You're one of a significant number of beneficiaries that sent in grants. But if you don't get 90% or more, in the secret review process, your grant is thrown in the rubbish can. My job is to find out what is going on and get the benefits to our people.
That
So
is much
I am
appreciated.
requesting this of you now. You have my phone number
Yes.
and you send it to me. And I don't know if the rest of the team wants a CC, but I do. And I want to let you know that your complaint, I will utilize it. One complaint has already moved to the state auditor's office, and I'm right now finishing up the complaint to the federal government. Your grant and every single grant in this document is not being reviewed based on the value, but rather, did you score 90? The
My
thing is,
complaint,
I think we
no.
need to proceed with an investigation, and it's not gonna happen under this office. So please follow up with me, because I have documents going out now. And this is the perfect example. And let me tell you this, of the few B through G, I have already talked with 2 others in the same position as yourself. You submitted a grant to my office. You got a rating from my staff of 90% or more. And then your grant was treated as all other beneficiaries. You will not be getting what you requested, will not be. Even though you were funded and received more than 90%. And that is something that needs to be investigated. Please follow up with me. Thank you so much.
I will do that. Mahalo.
Yeah, thank you so much for bringing this up. Because the other 2 grantees that I've already talked with told me that they're just gonna give up and see if they could find money somewhere else. But not when we're sitting on hundreds of millions of dollars that should be going to people like you. Thank you for helping me further this investigation. You have my number. Call me directly. Mahalo.
Mahalo for your support, trustee.
You got it.
Thank you, Makalani. Is there anyone else signed up for this action item? Okay,
So move.
so,
So move.
it's
What
been
move?
moved and
What?
seconded, action item, 2436. Is there any discussion on this motion? Okay, hearing none, can I get a roll call vote?
Trustee Ahuna,
Aye.
Trustee Akaka. Aye. Trustee Akina,
Aye.
Trustee Alapa,
Aye.
Trustee Galutaria is excused, Trustee Souza,
Aye.
Trustee Trask, Trustee Lindsay,
Aye.
and Chair Wahehe,
Yes.
and Trustee Trask. We have 7 yes votes.
Okay, so the next item is action item 2416. Do we have anyone signed up to testify on action item 2414? I meant to say, let me say that again. 2414.
We're gonna share it.
Do we have anyone sign up to testify on 2414?
2414. No one has signed up to speak on this one.
Okay, then can I get a motion?
Yeah, I'd like to move up to approve the following Ola Kekanaka Physical, Spiritual, Mental, and Emotional Health Grant Solicitation 24-3-.01 disbursements totaling $517,609.53 from fiscal year 2025 cooperating budget, object code 56530, to the organizations Hui Maoli Ola for $117,609.53. Healthy Mothers, Healthy Babies Coalition of Hawaii, 250,000. Aina Alliance, yes, 150,000. Total recommendations, $517,609.53.
It's been moved. Is there a second? It's been moved by trustee Ahuna, seconded by trustee Souza. If there's any discussion, trustee Souza.
Thank you, Chair. I just want to be sure that all budgeted amounts are allocated and reallocated to all the grant qualified applicants. For the record, thank you.
Okay. Trustee Trask. Oh. Is,
Trustee Trask, can you unmute yourself if you have a question?
Can you hear me?
yes,
All right. I'm voting the same way on all of these measures, and I want to make sure that the record reflects it. I'm taping it here in my office. My vote is in support with the following reservations: that these grants were subjected to an internal review process that, in my estimation, was not fair to the beneficiaries. I want that there on the record, and to say that I am filing a formal complaint on this. Put it in the record, John, because it's coming
Okay.
back.
I'll put it on the board record.
Thanks, John.
Is there any other discussion? I do want to, because I got kind of startled and sidetracked, but it sounds like the testifier had some valid concerns with, I guess, the computer input, not alerting them to things that we should look at. Trustee Akaka.
Mahalo, Chair. In my meeting I had the other day with Kehal, our COO, that was something that we discussed, that I feel that there needs to be a proper process in place so that the different entities are notified beforehand, before this is made public. And that she was going to check with the legalities of that with our legal team, with Everett and so forth. Mahalo.
Thank you. Is there any, if there's no further discussion, can we get a roll call vote?
Trustee Ahuna?
Aye.
Trustee Akaka?
Aye.
Trustee Akina?
Aye.
Trustee Alapa?
Yes.
Trustee Galutaria is excused. Trustee Souza?
Absolutely.
Trustee Trask?
Yes, with my objections and concerns previously stated on the record.
Trustee Lizzie?
Aye.
Chair Waihee?
Yes.
8 yes votes.
The motion passes. Trustee Ahuna.
Chair, I'd like to approve the following OLA Mo'omehiu Culture Preservation and Perpetuation 24-4 -1.01 disbursements totaling 400,000 from fiscal year 2025 core operating budget, object code 56530. Polynesian Voyaging Society, 200,000. Kahunua Momona International KHM, 200,000, totaling recommendations 400,000.
Okay, it's been moved in second. Before we engage in discussion, has anyone signed up to testify on this? Okay, any discussion on this motion? Okay, hearing none, can I get a roll call vote?
Trustee Ahuna?
Aye.
Trustee Akaka?
Aye.
Trustee Akina?
Aye.
Trustee Alapa? Yes. Trustee Galutaria is excused. Trustee Souza?
Aye.
Trustee Trask?
Aye.
Trustee Lizzie?
Aye.
Chair Waihee?
Yes.
You have 8 yes votes.
So we're moving on to RM 2419. Has anyone signed up to testify on RM 19
No one signed up for
or
this
2419?
action.
Chair, I'd like to
Trustee Ahuna.
move to approve the following Ho'omohala Vaivai Kaiaulu Community Economic Development Grant Solicitation 24-8.001. Disbursements totaling 782,394 and 96 cents from fiscal year 2025 core operating budget, object code 56530. Waianae Economic Development Council, 217,638. Change Makers Community Economic Development Corporation, 134,756.96 cents. Native Hawaiian Hospitality Association, 250,000, Malama Kauai, 55,000, and Le Ho'olaha CDFI, 125,000, totaling recommendation 782,394.96.
It's been moved by trustee Ahuna, seconded by trustee Souza. Any discussion on this motion? Hearing none, can I get a roll call vote?
Trustee Ahuna. Trustee Akaka. Trustee Akina.
Aye.
Trustee Alapa.
Yes.
Trustee Galutaria is excused. Trustee Souza. Trustee Trask.
Aye.
Trustee Lindsay.
Aye.
And Chair Wahehe.
Yes.
We have 8 yes votes.
So the next item is 2420. Do we have anyone signed up to testify on action item RM 2420?
No one is signed up on this item.
Trustee Ahuna,
Chair, I'd like to approve the following fiscal year 2024 Aina Ho'opulapula Hawaiian Homestead Community Grant solicitation 24-14.0.01, disbursements totaling $251,581 from fiscal year 2025 core operating budget, object code 56530. Organization's name, Mana Maoli, 141,944. Tea Leaf Group, 109,637, totaling recommendations $251,581.
Second.
so moved by trustee Ahuna, seconded by trustee Akaka. Any discussion on this motion? Okay, hearing none, can I get a roll call vote?
Trustee Ahuna.
Aye.
Trustee Akaka. Trustee Akina.
Aye.
Trustee Alapa.
Aye.
Trustee Galutaria is excused. Trustee Souza.
Aye.
Trustee Trask.
Aye.
Trustee Lindsay.
Aye.
And Chair Wahehe.
Yes,
You have 8 yes votes.
the motion passes. So we're on to action item 2421. Approve. Has anyone signed up to testify on action item RM 2421?
No one is signed up on this item.
Okay,
Chair,
trustee Ahuna,
I'd like to approve the following Olaka Lahui Vulnerable Populations Grant solicitation 24-15.0.01, disbursements totaling $873,665.62 from fiscal year 2025 core operating budget, object code 56530, to Hui Mahi Aina for $330,000, Waimanalo Health Center for $323,065.62, Ku Anui Nui, 100,000, Housing Solicitations Incorporated, 120,000, total recommendations, $873,065.62.
okay, it's been moved by trustee Ahuna, seconded by trustee Akaka. Any discussion, trustee Souza?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. For this category, I noticed there's an excess of 126,934.38. I'd like to request to move it to a different object code and give it to another qualified applicant.
Can we do that? Can we do that?
Is that possible?
I wish, see, we already approved all the others already.
It's an approved, it's an excess. Right?
So there is a balance in this and I think one other category, but what we could do, and considering that you've already just approved the previous AIs, is we could come back and make recommendations on a third tranche or a third set of recommendations, and we'll do some analyses too before coming back, and so we could come to a subsequent meeting and make bring some action items to the board.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Great.
I also,
Thanks, Steve.
I have a
Yeah,
question. You know, since we're on the subject of that meeting, you know, there was a lot of discussion about this thing everyone was calling the carryover. Where is the carryover, does the carryover go from the same, is it in the same category it was in and just carried over? Or where does it carry over to?
So we still need to make that determination where, so it's not
It's-
carried over.
It's
into
not a
this fiscal
carryover at all
year.
then.
No,
It's-
as Everett
it's
shared
leftover
yesterday,
money.
there'd have to be an action item to carried over into fiscal year 25, and we're still
That's what
working
it-
on where it comes from specifically.
We're, okay. Oh, okay.
So Chair, we need to make that determination, what the amount is, where it's coming from, put a board action together, and it would be accompanied with recommendations for a third tranche.
If it's not here, if it's not on the budget, it really wasn't carried over. It's just a record of leftover past money. Okay. Trustee Trask.
You know, this is exactly the problem that I have been raising. Each one of these grantees went through our process and scored 90 or higher. Despite that fact, and that they are getting a positive award from us, they are not being allowed to receive the funds that they are requesting. That is why I raised the carryover funds yesterday. Because the carryover seems to be missing, not only from this accounting, but for the last several years. And my investigation shows that it's a slush fund being utilized by admin and the chair. Trustees, there's 17 million in a carryover fund. And I requested yesterday, we are not funding all of these beneficiaries their request. We're not doing it. That is why I requested that for each one of these that we are cutting back, we give them the full amount from the carryover fund so that we can fund them. Every single grant that we're awarding is not getting the money they need. And we have a $17 million carryover fund that has never come before the board chair, and it's a slush fund.
Millie, let me let Kapunui answer. We also.
Excuse me,
we're looking
John.
for a way to fund it
Excuse
as
me,
well.
John. Excuse
Yes.
me. We have had information before the board on the carryover fund for months. There's 17 million in it, and I want to give it to these beneficiaries. We're cutting them back right now. Put the 17 million in. We've got a damn good grant team. Let's give these folks the money they're asking for now and have our grant team do the allocation, John.
Kapunui.
Oh, Kehao. I
Sorry,
was
Kehao.
Kapanui. Trustee Trask, I appreciate your passion and your desire to fund all these applicants at full award. I want to make a few clarifications. So one, the 17.6 million is this year's current budget for the grants team. But two, from that 17 million is included our charter school funding, sponsorships. So it's not 17.6. So I just want to make that clear. And then yeah, DHHL payments are also included in that. So there's a whole bunch of other stuff, including community grants, which is where this comes from.
Yes.
So, and again, we had a record amount, I am informed, of applications. The problem is that our team is awarding based on what was budgeted and approved by this board back in 2023. So as part of the 2-year, biennium budget. And so, and they've been careful not to go outside of that. Anything outside of that, that would require board action and board approval. So, and the list is extensive and we've made it public, right? So it's part of the electronic folder. So I do want to just, clarify that in our solicitation, it's very clear, there's, again, I think I shared yesterday, we have multiple steps, but that first step is even just proving eligibility, which is around HCE compliance. You have a board of governors, all of those kinds of things. So if you're not able to do that, you're not able to apply. So I want to share that to make it clear. The solicitation is very detailed. Again, I stand behind the process. But I also want to clarify that the carryover actually hasn't been carried over, so our apologies for using that language yesterday. It would require board action in order to do that. But and as we just said, we still got to figure out where, determine exactly, as I said, right? So the 17.6 is not just this grant category, it's a whole bunch of other stuff. So the same for the 9.5.
Yes.
Trustee Souza.
I understand what you're saying, but it does not change my concern. And the administration is very aware of this, very aware. There has never been an accounting from admin in the 3 years I've been here into where the carryover funds go and how they are allocated. But I'm looking at all of these grants, and you guys did a darn good job, grant team. I'm so proud of you. But there's nothing you or I can do when there's an internal process that strikes every single beneficiary that gets a grant. They know that they're not getting what they requested. They know that. And that's what the last speaker just told us. There's not a single person on the board, myself included, that can make this change alone. We have to do it collectively. But right now I'm making the record because there's no other trustees that'll do it. That's why. But thank you, grant team. You do a good job.
Trustee Souza.
Hey, thank you, Chair. I just want to clarify, Kel, the 17 million that's a budgeted amount, correct?
Yes.
That's what we learned yesterday, yeah? We're still having the same conversation today. Thank God it's the last meeting for this week. If not, we'd have to talk about it one more time. So thank you very much for clearing that up. Thanks,
Sure.
Kel. 17 million is a budgeted amount. Thank you very much.
King members. If there's no further discussion, can I get a roll call vote for the approval of this motion? Or did we make it?
Trustee Ahuna?
We,
Aye.
Oh,
No.
did we make the
yes.
motion? Trustee Ahuna, sorry. No.
24, 21. Yes, he did. He did read it.
Okay,
He made the
you know
motion
what?
and trustee Akaka
Okay,
seconded.
roll call vote. Roll call vote.
Trustee Ahuna is yes. Trustee Akaka?
Aye.
Trustee Akina? Trustee
Aye.
Akina? Mahalo.
Aye.
Can you hear me?
Yes, mahalo. Kalapa? Yes. Trustee Galuteri is excused. Trustee Souza?
Aye.
Trustee Trask?
Aye with reservations.
Trustee Lindsay?
Aye.
And Chair Waihee?
Yes.
We have 8 yes votes.
Moving on to action 6, which is, what is that? 2437. Has anyone signed up to testify on action item RM 2437?
Yes, we have one person,
Okay.
Luann Langford Favorito. You did mention that you were in support of the next 3 action items listed. Did you have anything else to add?
Luann. Oh, there she is.
No, you got the 3 that I did put in support for. Thank you very much, trustees.
Thank you.
Mahalo.
Has anybody else signed up? Okay, then Trustee Ahuna.
Chair, I'd like to approve and authorize the following fiscal year 2025 event sponsorship disbursements totaling $10,000 to Hawaiian Civic Club of Honolulu Scholarship Fund, the 2024 Holoku Ball, Saturday, November 2nd, 2024, from 5 to 9 p.m. Royal Hawaiian Hotel at the ballroom, awarding $10,000.
Second.
It's been moved by Trustee Ahuna, seconded by Trustee Akaka. Any discussion on this motion? Hearing none, can I get a roll call vote for its approval?
Trustee Ahuna?
Aye.
Trustee Akaka?
Aye.
Trustee Akina?
Aye.
Trustee Alapa? Yes. Trustee Galuteri is excused. Trustee Souza?
Aye.
Trustee Trask?
Aye with reservations.
Trustee Lindsay?
Aye.
Chair Waihee?
Yes.
You have 8 yes votes.
Okay, the motion passes. Can we move on? We're moving on to action 7. This is RM 2438. Has anyone signed up to testify on RM 2438?
No one is signed up.
Okay, then trustee Ahuna.
Chair, I'd like to approve and authorize the following fiscal year 2025 event sponsorship disbursement totaling $10,000 to Association of Hawaiian Civic Club, aka Ahui Suwila, Hawaii, for the 65th annual convention taking place November 2nd through the 17th at Alohilani Resort, Waikiki, Oahu, for $10,000.
Second.
It's been moved by trustee Ahuna, seconded by trustee Akaka. Any discussion on this motion? Hearing none, can I get a roll call vote for its approval?
Trustee Ahuna,
Aye.
trustee Akaka,
Aye.
trustee Akina,
Aye.
trustee Alapa, trustee Galutaria is
Aye.
excused, trustee Souza,
Aye.
trustee Trask,
Aye, with reservations.
trustee Lindsay,
Aye.
and chair Wahehe.
Yes.
You have 8 yes votes.
So we have action item what is RM 2439. Has anyone signed up to testify on action item RM 2439?
No one is signed up.
Okay, trustee Ahuna.
Chair, I'd like to approve and authorize the following fiscal year 2025 event sponsorship disbursement totaling $5,000 to Hale o Na'ali'io o Hawaii, Kahuna Nui Incorporated for the 73rd annual convention taking place September 19, 20, and 21 for $5,000.
Second.
It's moved by trustee Ahuna, seconded by trustee Akaka. Any discussion, members, on this? Hearing none, can I get a roll call vote for its approval?
Trustee Ahuna,
Aye.
trustee Akaka,
Aye.
trustee Akina, trustee Akina.
Aye.
Thank you. Trustee Alapa,
Aye.
trustee Galutaria is excused, trustee Souza,
Aye.
trustee Trask,
Aye, with reservations.
trustee Lindsay,
Aye.
and chair Wahehe.
Yes.
You have 8 yes votes.
We are on community concerns. Has anybody signed up for community concerns?
Yes, we had one person sign up,
Okay.
Makalani.
Oh, Makalani.
Aloha again, trustees.
Aloha.
Mahalo for having me again. So I registered for community concerns because I have a concern about the current Kako'o grant. Apo'akea is a current Kako'o grantee, and in the RM meeting folder from yesterday, I noted that there's a fiscal year 2025 Kako'o grant funding that was on the agenda. But my concern is that the fiscal year 2024 grants are not being paid out on the agreed upon schedule. The grant term is scheduled to end in December 2024. That's just 3 months from now. But we've not been afforded the opportunity to complete the required reports to receive the disbursements. So to date, we've only been issued 25% of the total award, with about 75% of the grant term already completed. I mean, it's difficult to comprehend the solicitation and release of new grants and awards when pre-existing awards are not being attended to. And we just want to do the capacity building work that will benefit our charitable mission for the Lahui. So we'd appreciate your support in getting some answers to what's going on with the current grants, and seeing if we can start getting those paid out so we can complete what we agreed to complete on the timeline. So mahalo for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Trustee Trask.
I just wanted to ask Makalani, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes.
I just wanted to ask Makalani if you can follow up on that call. I would like to get the additional information on this concern you're requesting right now. So please give me a call. You have my number. You have my number, Makalani?
Yes, Trustee Trask, I have your number. Mahalo.
Okay, when we talk, I want to look at this as well. You nail it on what the problems are. And you are not the first one, but nobody else is gonna look for a solution. call me. Thank you.
Is there anyone else signed up for community concerns?
No one else has signed up.
So we are on announcements. Trustee Ahuna.
Yes, I'd like to make an announcement. First of all, I just wanted to thank the grants team for putting out all these grants. It takes a wide range of responsibility to actually execute all of this. And I just wanted to say thank you, but most especially I want to thank Kiala Newman. Tomorrow is her last day. She's one of our grants person, and I just want to thank her from the bottom of my heart for doing all of this, and she did a wonderful job. I just want to say thank you on behalf of the Board of Trustees.
Well, thank
Mahalo,
you.
Kiala. Mahalo nui.
Yep. Mahalo, Kiala. Here, is there any other announcements? If
Kiala, you like say anything for your last day? Just in case, put you on the spot a little bit.
Yeah, see you tomorrow.
Oh, there she is.
hey, Kiala's, oh, she's,
I think you're muted, Kiala.
I hope to see her.
Kalamai, can you folks hear me now? Mahalo nui. And I just want you all to know that I did try my very best in my work. I had nothing but our community, our lahui, our beneficiaries at the top of my mind. I hope that the future of the grants program is better. Yeah. And I do apologize for any shortfalls. However, I just like to stand behind our process, and I am confident that my team and I did execute our process to the best of our ability. And I apologize for any shortfalls. But mahalo nui. Aloha.
Yeah, mahalo.
Kapanui. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, sorry.
No, I just also want to praise and mahalo Kiala for all of her hard work. She's akamai eleu, so hardworking. I mean, the hours that she puts in is just unbelievable. It's a huge loss for OHA. I'm very sad. I just started and I'm sad to be losing her. But I just want to also kako what she said. This process has been very detailed. You know, she's been very meticulous down to the training of our external evaluators to make sure that we can stand behind the grants process. So I want to kako her on that, and also just want to address what was shared, because this is also in kako to Kiala. There is the kako grants were not on the agenda yesterday. It was not agendized. We will not be putting out a solicitation for those grants this year. However, the team will look into what's going on with the 2024 grants, as the last speaker had raised. Mahalo.
Thank you. Trustee Trask.
You know, I just wanted to say my own personal mahalo to Keala. She's really been one of the hardest workers up here in this office where we do the grants. I don't know if you folks ever had a chance to see her and her beautiful family. She has so many keikis. I was shocked to see how many children she had that were young, because she works all the time. And you know, you folks, you don't see it because mostly the grant team is up here in Hilo. But I'm telling you, when grant time comes, they don't go home. They come in on weekends, and I hear them talking, how we doing on the grants? And it's so personal to them. You know, it's so personal. When I talked with Kiala and others, they go, you know, we're doing what we can, Auntie. But you know, we know that there will not be enough for this or that group. And it's different for those of you on Oahu, because you're not working with the community, bringing in these small grants on the neighbor islands. But I really wanted to thank you, Kiala, and also all your keikis that are so sweet. You know, I don't know how you could have done all the work for us and still took care of your whole tribe. But I wish you well. And if there's anything you need, Keala, letter of recommendation or anything, don't hesitate to call me. Good job. Mahalo for the office. Aloha.
Mahalo, trustee. Mahalo.
Thank you. Is there any, are there any other announcements? Okay, hearing none, can I get a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Trustee Ahuna,
Aye.
Trustee Akaka,
Aye.
Trustee Akina,
Aye.
Trustee Alapa,
Aye.
Trustee Galutaria is excused, Trustee Souza, Trustee Trask,
Hi.
Trustee Lindsay. Chair Wahehe,
Yes.
Trustee Lindsay. We have 7 yes votes. We are adjourned.